Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the Lawdit Solicitors podcast. Today, I am joined by our beloved Michael Coyle, who heads our intellectual property department. Good afternoon, Michael.
Hello, Alice.
And we're also joined by Abhi, who is our latest trainee in our intellectual property department. Good afternoon, Abhi.
Good afternoon, everyone.
So today, I've got Michael down in the podcast room, and we wanted to chat through the protection of a brand. So many businesses think, right, I need to strike trademarks off my list, but where do I start and what do I start with? Michael, being the intellectual property extraordinaire that he is, has a surefire way and wanted to sort of detail the best steps that you can take to protect your brand. So, Michael, where does everybody start?
So the starting point is a blank piece of paper, and you will have some form of brand or idea of the business in your head. And I would write down on the left-hand side of that piece of paper, I would title unregistered rights, and on the other side of the paper, I would title it registered rights. And the starting point is, if you come up with a brand, let's say Lima Scrumptious. That's going to be my new brand, Lima Scrumptious. Good brand.
That is. Can it be for sweets?
Yeah, it'll be for sweets.
Great.
And we will, the best advice on how then to secure and use that initial brand as a springboard going forward is to focus firstly on the unregistered. So the unregistered consists of your goodwill, your company name, the domain name, which are the three essentials really to start your business. So first tip is to just spend 15 minutes or so on the first, say, 5 pages of Google. And the brand, what's my brand?
Lima Scrumptious.
Yeah, good, I've forgotten it. Lima Scrumptious. You search the first 5 pages of Google, and you'd have some form of indication as to what's out there, because, of course, one would have thought that any brand that's got a similar brand would make use of the first 5 pages of Google. It's not a fail-safe, sure thing, but it's a good indication. If you can't see anything which is of concern, which is similar to, what is it again?
Lima Scrumptious.
Lima Scrumptious. You would then move on to securing the domain name. You know, do a whois search, or go on to one of the providers, FastHost or One-on-One, GoDaddy, and you can do a search there, and then secure the company name via Company's House. That's your unregistered little pot collected. You will then move on to the registered, and the registered rights are those rights which you have to file for a right via the various offices designed around the world to protect intellectual property. In the UK, we have the UK IPO, and you would search for a trademark and you would secure that trademark. Now, with the unregistered and registered, hopefully now on the way or pending or secured, you can then start to open the bank account and start making your zillions. That's it. Brilliant.
Yeah. So it's really important to do that foundation level of research before piling all of your money and all your resources into a business. Those steps, especially the initial steps, is something you can do yourself to narrow down that potential brand name to one that's really important. And then when it comes to the registered rights, it'll be a case of getting in touch with someone like our sister company, the Trademark Room, to help you look at those registered trademarks that are already out there, check the criteria of a registered trademark, and also then make sure that what you're looking to protect can be protected, hasn't already been protected by someone else, and you can secure that registered trademark for you. Abhi, when a trademark is registered, how long does that protection last for?
When a trademark is registered, it normally lasts 10 years from when it has been registered.
Yeah, absolutely. So a trademark is registered for 10 years, and then after that 10-year period, we can renew that protection, and that renewal can last indefinitely as long as that renewal is filed every 10 years. So it's always important to make sure you're maintaining your registered protection once it's in place, almost as important as getting it in place in the first place. So, Michael, if you are a brand new business owner, you've done your Google searches, everything looks great. Your next step, would you say, would be get in touch with someone like the Trademark Room to get that brand protected?
Find an agent to do your filing, but to carry out that due diligence beforehand, like anything, if you're buying a house, you'd shop around, wouldn't you? You'd go and look at the local schools, you'd look at the local shops, you see what the transport system is, you do all that checking before you actually put an offer in and get the solicitors to buy the house. So it's the same with any brand. Is do your homework first, do that legwork first, get a flavour for what's out there, because we've seen too many heartbreaks in terms of people spending a fortune and then having to stop or to rebrand or get into a dispute with no certainty as to the outcome. So it's a really good idea to do so. And if you follow that method rather than going registered rights first and then unregistered, it'll save a lot of pain.
Yeah, and a lot of money as well, because most businesses, we find, rank trademarks and protecting your brand low on the list just because of the sheer scale of other things that require resources. So by taking those steps initially that are free, it obviously costs a bit of time, but if you can do that yourself, then you're well on the way to making sure that protecting your brand is higher up that list of importance.
Yeah, I mean, the registered rights, just to sign off on the registered rights are rights that you are granted a monopoly by the office for which you've filed the right in. So, for example, you've got a patent, you have a registered design, and you have a trademark. They're the three predominantly registered rights. Everything else is considered to be unregistered. Still part of your business, still an important part of your business. That's the copyright, that's your goodwill, that's your domain name, your company name, your customers, your data. All that is your unregistered, and they sit very comfortably together, and they usually coexist and live together, because that's what the strength of your business is. You're unregistered and you're registered collectively together. But to knock someone out easily or much more smoother than relying solely on unregistered, a registered right is vital, because it is very persuasive in seeking to persuade the opponent to stop doing what they're doing and to rebrand if you have a registered trademark, as opposed to just relying on your unregistered, which is fraught with difficulties in establishing that you've got that goodwill and you do have significant ability to be able to stop that person from using a similar brand with unregistered. So they combine together. You can't isolate them, they come together.
Yeah, absolutely. I always describe it as your registered trademark is the sword to fight the battle with, and your unregistered is more of a shield. It's there. Sometimes you have to sort of go out and seek it and find it and put that evidence forward first. But the registered trademark has a little bit more of a focused approach in helping you protect that brand. Perfect. Well, thank you both for joining me and chatting all things brands, and hopefully that's helped some of our listeners. Please do get in touch if you've got any further questions about intellectual property. We'll be more than happy to help. Check out our website at www.lawdit.co.uk, and please give us a call on 02380 235 979. Well, thank you both, and we'll be back in your ears soon.